Hey there, hope you're well. My name's Leigh and I'm from MPG, and today I want to share with you a couple of thoughts and ideas on how to best determine the price of your property in 2024. So stay tuned for this. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Click the button below, and if you're watching this on one of my social channels, do jump on over there to Martinuzzi Property Group at YouTube. Lots of updates there, lots of properties coming to the market, lots of results and community events and things that I organise around the area as well. This is my idea of property prices on the Sunshine Coast, across Australia really, but on the Sunshine Coast and here in our Sunshine Coast hinterland for 2024. What I'm seeing every day, and I'm speaking to many property owners and they're asking me the question, how do you determine the price of a property? It can be quite difficult to do that right now, and I think many are baffled about property prices because on one hand you see a property that achieves a great result up here and it sells very quickly, and then you see another one that seems very similar based on all that it offers, but it sells down here or it takes a bit longer to sell. And there seems to be this fairly significant back. A few years ago, I was much more confident myself in going out there and okay, well, based on X, Y, and Z, you're probably going to be in this ballpark. That ballpark seems to have shifted quite a bit. Now, as you know, property is very subjective and buyers see value very differently from one another. And that really determines the difference in what one person will pay compared to the next. And I've got a number of case studies which I share over the weeks and through my sales that really highlight this, and that divergent gap can be 100 to 200,000 and maybe even bigger sometimes, depending on the price category of the property. So they're big gaps. And so you don't want to go out there and set a price up here and then have whispers and achieve no buyer interest. But you also don't want to set a price down here and miss out on some potential gains that you might have otherwise had. So this is why I think it's important to really understand the market at the moment. And what I can see in the market at the moment is understanding the properties that are selling. So if you're a seller looking to do something in the near future, start doing your research. Now, I know most sellers are already doing that. They're on realestate.com or Domain. They're looking around the local marketplace. But the next step you need to do is actually take that detachment, that emotional attachment away from your home. Now, as a homeowner myself, I know I love my home better than most homes. But it's important when you're selling to really detach that and go out there subjectively looking at other properties and really analysing them based on their key criteria as how they compare to yours, and assessing them on not only the key criteria but some of the other aesthetics of the property. How well do they present? What are the fixtures and finishes like? Are they modern? Are they renovated? Those categories are more and more important right now than ever before, and what we're seeing in the market at the moment is that those brand new homes, those homes that are shiny or fully renovated, present very well, immaculate, nothing to do, those homes seem to be attracting the most interest. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. Now, that doesn't mean you can't sell a home without renovating it or spending all that money doing that, but it will come, it'll come into that cost equation where people, the buyers coming through, will go, okay, well, it's a lovely home, but it's not shiny new like that one down the road. So for that reason, we're going to have to counter that in to the price offering. So that's one thing I think you really need to do, is go out there, take that emotional attachment away from the love for your property and really view properties yourself. Go out there and view those properties and get a feeling for what's out there and what things are selling for. There can still be this divergent gap where you see one very comparable, well-presented home sell for a great price and another one that seems great and doesn't sell for nearly as much. So there still can be that gap, but I think the first step to understanding property prices is going out there and doing your own research. Secondly, I think it's important to speak to a local expert in the area. Now, that agent can be someone with experience in the area, someone that's got a proven track record. Speak to them about property prices. They should know too, and most agents, if they give you a pinpoint price, that's an alarm bell for me, because I don't think anyone can pinpoint a price on a property. But find someone that's enthusiastic, positive, ambitious, with their pricing expectations, but also that gives you a bit of a guide so you have a realistic expectation of what your property will achieve. Second thing I think is really important in this market than ever before is finding some creative solutions. A lot of agents just do the same thing that worked maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago, but maybe is not the best solution today to determining that price. Now, I have a solution that I think is quite effective, and it means that we remove the price, but we put it on a campaign. We still give the buyers a price guide, because I think that frustrates a lot of people, both buyers and sellers in the marketplace. but we still give the price guide to the potential buyers. And we keep that open based on our appraisal range for the property. But then we open it up to the buyers to tell us what they think it's worth. And through that, you will find buyers will come out and go, okay, I think it's that, I think it's that. And buyers, approach it in the same manner. They know what they can spend. They know their budget. They know or believe what they would pay for a property based on the other properties they've seen. And I guess they have a subjective view on value. Like, what is it really worth to them, that property? And they'll set their benchmarks there. But through that process, you'll quickly determine what the middle of the market says your property is worth. And you'll get more price feedback and offers in that particular range. You'll get a couple of cheeky ones maybe on the lower end. And then what you're looking for really is that premium buyer, the buyer that comes through and wants it more than anyone else, and that's willing to pay that extra $50,000, $100,000 or whatever it might be. So I think that's really important to make sure you come up with a creative solution when selling your property. And the final thing, I think you need to be flexible around not just the price when you're negotiating with a buyer, but the terms and conditions of that as well. And that's important for buyers as well, to really understand that flexibility needs in place in negotiations. I know a lot of people have this hard line that this is the price I want, and if it's subject to sale, I'm not even going to look at it. Or buyers might be the same, like this is what I'm going to pay, and I don't believe in negotiating. There's always going to be, usually there's always negotiations in property transactions. So make sure you have that flexibility built into you. So you're aware that, okay, there's going to be some negotiations, and what can I be flexible on as a seller with a buyer? And what are my non-negotiables that I just can't be flexible on? And if you can do that and then give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, that's really going to help in those negotiations. And that's going to make the buyer also feel like they're having a bit of a win, because at the moment, buyers are feeling the pressure. They're feeling the pressure by the cash rate. They're feeling the pressure by the interest rates. They've seen prices, double 50 to 60% in the Sunshine Coast hinterland area. So buyers are feeling that pressure. So to give a little back to them through those negotiations is really important. And it's a really harmonious process then, where the seller has a great outcome. They're very happy, and the buyer's also very happy as well. So just a few thoughts and tips of advice today for selling in 2024 and determining that property price. If you'd like to sit down and discuss a solution that's worked for many of my clients and that could work for you as well, make sure you give us a call. We'd love to come around and sit down and discuss that process with you. My name's Leigh from MPG. We'll talk to you soon.